Good day, everybody. I'm your host, Ron, the one-man entertainer, and of course, I'm the DJ at the party. Why not? Anyway, we're going to get into some new content tonight. Will be which one are you? Hmm. Well, they just happened to fall right. Anyway, I'm lined up for some band practice and some recording after this. I have some stuff I gotta do right after this, so I got everything queued up so I can just leave this and go to my recording. I'll just change screens around, but I'm gonna change screens so you can see what I'm looking at, and we're looking at that screen, which I'm all set up. I'm gonna do some stuff here. I'm going to work on a breakdown, and I'll show you how I put my tracks together when I'm working toward gigs or whatever. But I'm going to add some congas to this, and some percussion, and some scratching, and some stuff for a breakdown, so it can sound like, even though I'm live, it'll still sound like I'm kind of DJing as well. I'm trying to see how this is going to work for me. So let's do it something like this. I'm going to record this. Let's try to record it. I'm going to go here, I'm going down here, go to function, I'm going to bring the gain up. I've learned how to be quite skilled at this. When I don't want to change the volume of what I'm doing, I can just change it right on the track. And let's see if it sounds, I got to get the everything balanced, so let's see what it sounds like now. Okay, that sounds kind of cool. I'm going to leave that. That's just an idea. I'm going to work on this later on. This is put in some scratches and some stuff like a DJ is with me. I've seen this at concerts and I kind of liked it, but I'm going to see if I can do it for myself. Let's try this. Let's see if we can fix that recording. Okay, we're down to one track. I'm gonna boost the volume on this, and then we'll get to the content and do a proper welcoming. I'm gonna do one. That sounds, it might work. Let's see. Okay, that'll work for me. We got the mix on that. I'm gonna switch screens, and you won't see the edit, but we're ready to do this and get into the content now. I'm your host, Ron, the one-man entertainer and DJ. And we're gonna talk today about which one are you? Are you that guy? Are you that woman? No, it's not that kind of talk. It's strictly music. There's a lot of different aspects in the things you can do when it comes to music. And what I mean by which one of you is, are you the musician? Are you the singer? And when I say musicians, I mean all of the instruments that one can play. I don't want to say the bass player or the guitar. If you're a musician, that's what I mean. You play an instrument. If you're a singer, of course, you do the vocals. You can be a singer and a musician. You can be a musician and a singer, however you want to label yourself. But being a musician and a lot of times, especially these days, it incorporates a couple of things. This light is always in my face, and my face looks oily. It can incorporate a few things if you're a musician, and that means not only you the musician, you're the producer. You know, meaning you do the tracks, you do the instrumentation, the orchestration, whatever you want to call it, and turn the song into what it is and that your mind perceives the song to be. Another thing a musician can be, a musician by rights is a stage tech. He's a musical technician. He's the sound man. I mean, I know when I play live, I mean, I don't have a sound man with me. I gotta control my own sound. I gotta set up my stage. I gotta plug in all of the stuff. I gotta lug it in. I'm the roadie. Not a roti. A roti is something you get in Trinidad or in the Caribbean islands and you eat it and it's really good. Anyway, a roadie, we are all that. One-man entertainers, one-woman entertainers, we lug our own equipment around and we set it up and we play it and we sing and we perform. So we do all of these things, but meaning which one are you is, are you limited by doing one thing and not doing another thing? If you play your music and you don't know a lot about the technology and how to set it up and get your sound to sound just as good as it is when you're at home, when you go out, you don't want to be lacking in the things that you need to come off as a good entertainer. Entertainers are usually talented people, talented individuals, meaning they can be multi-talented. Even if they're just playing one instrument, they can be so good on that instrument they don't really need to do nothing else. They don't have to sing. They don't have to be a stagehand and all these things that other musicians do to make money. Which all these things I just named that musicians can do. If you want, you can make money from that. And the reason why I'm going into this, which one are you? Because don't think that you are limited to just one thing when you don't really know it, but you're doing multiple things just by what you do to bring your sound up. When you set up your recording studio at home, no technician is there telling you how to run the software. I mean, yeah, of course you got to go to tech support here and there, but for the most part, it all falls back into your lap. I mean, I've learned to be a graphic artist. I can do my own business cards now. I put my pictures of me playing instruments on my business cards, and I put what I want to say. I have learned to do a lot trying to be, not trying, but being a solo artist. And not wanting to get too far ahead of what I'm trying to get into about this, I'm going to turn off this recorder. I don't need this anymore. I meant to do this. I like the way that camera follows me. Okay, am I turning off? Okay, let me turn off the recorder. This camera follows me around. This one back here follow me too, but right now I just got it on stationary because I'm not moving around. So I'm going to start using that in my performances because I seldom have people there to record what I do. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can capture myself, at least a little bit of what I do, so I can put it on, some promo kits. But before I get going too deep, I gotta get me a sip of my favorite I like to make a sangria to sip on. It's a wine, but it's not a wine. You know what I know about wines. You can get kind of a little bit buzzed out, more than you want drinking wine. But this kind of keeps it mellow. I don't drink a lot of fruity drinks too much, but anyway. Okay, back to the subject at hand. A couple days ago, I was listening to a few content creators, and they were talking about solo artists, being a solo artist versus being in a band. Good points, very good points. It all went hand in hand in a way, whether or not you want to be a solo artist is totally up to you. I mean, I've played in bands, and my becoming a solo artist became circumstantial. It was because of circumstance that drove me to being a solo artist, and a lot of that had to do with the way bands just fell off. And I'm just going to say it and keep it real. Black bands have just fell off. And the way this trap, rap, this foul language, music have just saturated, it oversaturated the market to where I look on TV and watch the artists. I was watching a few different artists. I'm not going to name names, but I'm not seeing bands. I'm not seeing brothers out there playing. I saw a little pieces of them kind of on the side, but mostly it was just the artists and these dancers. All they have out is dancers. They probably have a DJ that they spotlight more than the band members. And if you catch it, you might see a guy over on the side playing some drums, or a keyboard player, or somebody's doing something. But for the most part, bands and black music just the market is just dried up. Unless you can get with a band that's touring, and you can happen to get into that, it's hard to break in there if don't nobody know you. I did a little bit of that out in LA when I lived out in LA, and nobody knew me. I was able to get in and get in on some auditions, and sometimes I'd get all the way to the part where they was picking the band, but they look at me and be like, anybody know this guy? Who knows? No, call in. And they call in the keyboard player that they know to see if he's available. And I'm not going to get too far going into that. When I was coming up, when I was younger, all I saw was bands. I wanted to be in a band so bad. I mean, from watching TV and watching all of the bands play on TV, I can name a lot of them, but I'm not. But that inspired me to want to be on the stage. You don't even really think about the money much. You just want to be out there having a good time and being on a big stage and being in big arenas. But after a minute, if you don't break into it really soon, especially if trying to be a super band or a super group like there was back then, that window was getting smaller and smaller as the years went by. I mean, I played with a band and we did some good stuff. We even had an album out. Albums don't really mean nothing. I found that out the hard way. I mean, just because you got an album out and you can do a few things, that don't mean you're gonna get elevated to that plateau that you want. It don't really work like that. So when you miss that window and you start getting to the point where the bands start breaking up, life start catching up with you, where you gotta pay bills, you gotta start seeing about your health, things can go wrong, you need a car to get around, your equipment is getting old, and you're not making the money with bands, and you gotta start holding down the job, and then you gotta start trying to make it to band practice, and you're tired. The window gets smaller and smaller, and to the point where everybody gets older. Some people go on to do something, some people don't. My point is, which one are you? If you're a solo artist, you have to be all of these things. You got to be your own technician, your own sound man, your own music man. You pick your songs and you practice your songs. You perform your songs. You can get a gig and you can be a stage tech. You know, you if you're a drummer and you can set up somebody's drums. You know, I mean, if that's what you like. I mean, I can be somebody's keyboard technician. You know, I can test the keys. I can know what's playing right. I can know if the programs, if everything. You know, and the same with a guitar player. A guitar player can set up another guitar player's rig. You know, you can get out there, play a couple things, make sure the guitar is tuned up, and bass players. It's all kind of other things you can do along with your music. There's a lot of things you can get into. Writing songs for people. Try to do jingles. You know, if you got that avenue. I wanted to do jingles and movie soundtracks. I would love to do that, but I don't know nobody that'll get me in. Maybe one day that'll happen and I can do the next sci-fi soundtrack. I would love to do that. I like a lot of sounds and weird noises. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ron. I'm your host for Into Music with Ron. I talk to all of the solo artists, all of the guys that get out and do it by themselves. I probably left a few things out, but that's okay. I'll cover some of it in another segment. I'd like to thank you all for joining me. I hope you leave me a thumbs up. I hope you can give me some comments. Let me know what you think about solo artists versus bands and what do you do. And most importantly, leave me I say it was, please subscribe to the channel. I'll edit that out, I think. But subscribe to my channel. I put out content once a week. I try to do something every week. I mean, I got a lot to talk about. Sometimes I might not do it on the same day. Like today is Tuesday. I'm off because it's Veterans Day. I'm a worker government, so they're off. So that means I'm out of there. Anyway, I hope to see you on the next one. I got other content you can try to find and look at some of that. Got a lot of informative stuff on that. So it's been nice talking to you again. Hope to see you soon. Everybody take care. Take care of your music. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your instruments. Have a good day.